I love you, baby. Trust in me when I say.
Hello everyone, and thank you so much for joining us today for the last event in our Get Ahead series. I'm Katie, an account manager in the SMB team at TikTok, and today I'm joined by Tao and Philip, who are going to share their small business journeys with us. A few technical tips before we get started. It's best to view this event on Google Chrome. If you have any issues, please refresh your browser, or you can contact our support team by clicking on the question mark button at the top of the page. The event will be recorded and shared afterwards, so please don't worry if you miss anything, you will be able to rewatch the event. And of course, please feel free to use the chat box to your right. Our team will be happy to answer any questions that you might have. So now then, let's get started. So I'm Katie, an account manager in the SMB team at TikTok. Some of the things we do in the SMB team is to help them reach their goals by leveraging our ads manager to reach new audiences, increase brand awareness, drive traffic to their websites, and then increase conversions. In the final event of our 4-part series today, hear from Tao, co-founder of Omalola Jewellery, and Philip, co-founder of Oatsum, on their inspiring small business journeys. I'd like to hand it over to Tao and Philip to say hello and to introduce themselves.
Hi, I'm Taiwo, co-founder of Omalola Jewellery. I started the business in 2018 with my sister, and TikTok has been a great platform for us to grow and reach new audiences.
Yeah, hi, and I'm Philip. I'm one of the co-founders of Oatsum, and I founded Oatsum 4 years ago together with my co-founder Tim. And what we basically do is we create healthy food for busy times. And happy to be here today.
So great, and thank you so much for being here today. We're delighted to have you guys on board and on our platform. So I think we're going to go back to the very beginning. You know, every story has a start. So I want to hear all about, how did your businesses get started? So Tawa, would you like to tell us a little bit about how Omalola Jewellery was born?
So I started Omalola Jewellery in 2018. With my sister. I just graduated from uni and I'd had like a little bit of what people might call a quarter life crisis. So I didn't really know what I wanted to do in regards to my future, what I wanted to do with my degree. So I've always been quite artistic, and the inspiration of Omalola Jewellery came from my dad went back home to Nigeria, and he brought back some pieces of jewellery that my great-grandma had passed down. So a few pieces were broken, and I refurbished them or upcycled them to make a few earrings. A few of my friends saw them and liked them, and I guess that's where the beginning of Omalola Jewellery started. So we then started a Shopify website and put a few products online, and we found that there was a need for West African inspired jewellery. So on the market there was ethnic jewellery, but it was quite homogenous. And I guess creating Omalola Jewellery represented an opportunity for us to do something that was specific to women of West African heritage and generally women of the diaspora. So in a space of 2 years, we've been able to hit our first 6 figures, which we're really, really proud about. And this was possible through things like social media, especially through TikTok. We found that during the Christmas period and Black Friday period, advertising on TikTok was really helpful for us because we were able to reach new people. So far we've been able to sell our stuff in Soho and Carnaby Street, as well as reach customers across the world in New Zealand, the Caribbean, France and Germany. So I'd say that's our story so far.
I'm Philip and I started Oatsum 4 years ago, and basically the idea behind Oatsum was that we saw that there were a lot of people who were struggling to get a healthy breakfast when I have no time in the morning, and this was the main reason or struggle we saw from other people, but also in our point of view. And therefore we sit down together basically in our kitchen and created the first version of our products, the so-called smoothie bowls, which are kind of a mixture between a wholesome porridge and a vitamin-dense smoothie. And our products are 100% natural and allow you to create a breakfast in 60 seconds, which is super healthy, but on the other side, super easy to create. And I would say the first steps we did were basically in our kitchen, and after the first 2 months, we decided to join an incubator program at my university, and there we got a little office here in Frankfurt and worked there literally on a ping pong table the first year. And we started 4 years ago with 2 people. At the moment we are around 45 people, which I think is a great journey we did in the last years. And hope this journey will continue in the future. And that is our story in short.
So thank you so much for sharing your stories from how you started. Both absolutely fascinating. I think the healthy eating is so important, and I think breakfast on the go is definitely something that we can all relate to, especially when you've got a big commute. So amazing story there, and a great story of growth. And Tawa, a fascinating beginning. The upcycling of the jewellery and your friends wanting it. I think it's so hard to imagine if you were to tell yourself where you'd be in 2 years, what you would have thought back then. So again, thank you for sharing your successes and the start of your journeys. But I think you'll both agree that there's probably been also some challenges along the way. So Philip, I'm going to hand it over to you. Could you share some challenges that you faced along the way on the Oatsum journey?
Sure. I would say the biggest challenge was the funding. Especially in the first 2 years, I would say, and especially the personal funding. So we just needed to get the money for our living, and in the first year we weren't making enough money with our Oatsum products, and therefore we need to get up with some creative ways how we can finance our daily lives. And I would say the funding was the biggest challenge we have to overcome. But after the first year, we saw that our products gain more and more traction. More customers were coming into our Shopify store, and and because we saw all the customers coming in, we were able to finance our personal lives after around 1.5 years. This was the first moment where we saw, okay, the products we created are amazing and attract customers, and we are able to finance ourselves. And I would say this was one of the hardest years of my life, but also one of the years where I learned the most. And for me as a person and also for us as a company, it was a tough year, but also a good starting point for hopefully a bright future.
Yeah, and thank you for sharing that. I think that's something that I'm sure lots of other small business owners have gone through and faced those challenges. But I think what you've really shown is great resilience, and a year and a half of, I'm sure, lots of highs but lows was a lot to go through. So again, congratulations on making it through that. So over to you, Tao Wow. Is there any challenges that you faced along the way that you could share with us today?
I definitely agree there with Philip on, I'd say the biggest challenge we faced was also funding. Especially, coming from, I guess, a niche background kind of business. So we struggled to get funding because I think a lot of people kind of didn't have our vision. They didn't really see what we saw in the brand. We had questions like, is your market wide enough? Is your market big enough? Is this a product or a thing that people will want? So I think having so many people doubt us kind of like led to a lot of self-doubt. But a way we worked through that was just, keep doing our thing, keep putting ourselves out on social media. And then we started getting messages from customers like people saying that, for example, we named our pieces after people. So we gave our pieces unique Yoruba names or unique names of people of West African heritage. So we had a customer message us to say she bought a pair of earrings as the earrings had the same name as her grandma who just passed away. So hearing things like that and knowing that our product actually had significance to people's lives kind of like inspired us to keep continuing with our journey and keep continuing with our business. But I definitely say that funding was a huge obstacle for us in the beginning.
Yeah, and that's so interesting that both of you share that point of view. And as I said, I'm sure there's lots of other businesses out there who might be going through that at the moment, might have already been through it, and will share those thoughts and also those feelings, the feeling of self-doubt, and to have overcome that is really great. So I think now where you are, 2 years and 4 years into your business, what is the one thing that you wish you knew before you started this business? So Tao Wow, I'm going to put that over to you first.
I'd say one thing I wish I knew before I started the business is focus on your market, focus on your audience, especially if you're a small business with likely a small budget. Trying to reach everyone may not always work for you. So we had a phase where we started listening to the doubters and we thought, okay, maybe we need to create jewelry that is more, universal jewelry that you could buy on the high street and get from every brand. And that didn't necessarily work for us because the issue with that was what would make us stand out from the rest of the other brands, what would make us stand out from the other brands in the high street who arguably have a bigger audience. I'd say the biggest advice I have for myself back in the day would be to focus on your niche, focus on your audience, be consistent, believe in yourself, and just keep going.
Thank you so much for that, Tao. That's some really great advice, to really believe in yourself and stay true to your brand, and to understand and know who your target market is really a key to success. So now over to you, Philip. What is one of the things that you wish you knew before you started Oatsome?
Yeah, I would say the main lesson we learned, or the thing I would wish to knew when I started is that don't be afraid to fail, and because failing or failure is kind of normal if you start a business. And I think you have to try a lot of things, especially in the beginning. what is working for your business, who's your customer, which marketing campaign is working, where do you have to change or adapt your product. So there are a lot of things you can try to predict, but I would say you have to test them on the market. And therefore you will fail a lot, especially in the beginning. And but you always have to go up again, try new things, learn from your failures, and then go on with your business. And I would say that's the main thing I took away from, especially from the first years of being a founder.
So to not be afraid of failure from Philip, which I think is a lesson that we can all have. I think we're all so afraid of failing, but if you're not failing, you're not, sometimes you're not trying. So really, really great advice there. And then again from Tawa about staying true to your brand and knowing who your audience is, and then believing in yourself. So really, really great advice for those of you who might be out there at this beginning of your business journey, or of course for those of you who are at similar stages to both Tawa and Philip. So now to talk about Shopify and the platform that gives you the space to sell your products online. So I'd like to hear, how long you've been using Shopify and the impact that has had on your business. So Philip, over to you to talk all things Shopify.
We started using Shopify 2 years ago, and I would say it was one of the best business decisions we've made so far, because Shopify as a platform is a great way to rapidly scale your business, because it has so many good apps and so many good integrations into other services and platforms. And for us, it was the best decision we've made, because we mostly sell all of our products online. We are our own online store, and therefore Shopify is the way to go for us. And we are happy we did make this decision 2 years ago.
Great, and it is a wonderful platform, and it's so accessible and easy to use. So it's great to hear that you've had such a positive experience. So now over to you, Tawa. Can you share how long you've been using Shopify and the impact it has had on Omolola Jewellery?
So we've been using Shopify for as long as we've been running. So when we first started, we set up on Shopify. So I think we've been using Shopify for about 2.5 years now. So Shopify has been amazing for us because it was easy to use. We built our website ourselves with no prior knowledge of how to build a website, how to make anything, and we've been able to build a website that customers can use easily, and so that's been amazing for us. I'd say one thing that I also love about Shopify is the data it provides you. So Shopify has provided us data on what our best sellers are, what our best collections are. So that meant that we could then, in the future, when we were releasing new products, think about what kind of products customers were more likely to buy, what kind of customers did they like the most. So it helped us in designing. It also gave us insight to where our customers were coming from. So that helped us in terms of marketing, what platforms to use. So I'd say, Shopify has been amazing, just for how easy it is to use and also the data it provides you. So with Shopify, we've been able to reach customers all over the world, ranging from to New Zealand, Australia, Canada, America, the Caribbean. So that's amazing. I feel like if we had a physical shop, we wouldn't have been able to reach as many people.
Okay, thank you so much for sharing the impact that Shopify has had on both of your business. I think it's safe to say that it's had a huge impact, and it's really made your lives easier in terms of growing your online business. So now we're going to start to talk a little bit about advertising, and particularly online advertising. So Tawa, how important would you say that advertising is for Omolola Jewellery?
I'd say marketing, especially digital marketing, is the backbone of our business. Without being able to market ourselves on social media, I don't think there would be as wide of an awareness of our brand as there is now. Being able to market on social media has also opened opportunities for us. For example, recently we did an ad, and this ad was seen by Stacey Solomon's sister, and as a result of that, we were then featured in her new book. So I'd say without digital marketing, or without being able to market on social media, we wouldn't have access to the opportunities we've had access to, and our customers wouldn't be as aware of us as they are now.
Wow, Tao, that is amazing that your ad was featured in her book. You know, what a great example of the impact and how important advertising is for your business. So now over to you, Philip. How important would you say that advertising is for Oatsum?
Yeah, I would say advertising and especially online marketing is one of the biggest drivers of our business. As I said, we are totally e-commerce and also social media focused, and therefore the online marketing and social media marketing is the main driver of our growth since the beginning, and it also allowed us in the beginning to only spend as much money as we had, and to get into to get the first customers. And then start investing back the money into our business and grow from time to time. And therefore marketing is one of the most important aspects of our business.
So thank you, Philip, and I think I would definitely agree that advertising is a huge part of SMB's businesses and their growth, and we see that in the work that we do with SMBs at TikTok and how they can reach new audiences and target new customers that they didn't even know were out there. So to link that into TikTok and to talk about advertising on TikTok, you know, what would you say that the impact TikTok has had on your business, Philip?
Okay, TikTok allowed us to show our business in a whole new perspective. I would say in today's world of social media, everything needs to be very polished, and TikTok is different. TikTok is more about being authentic and showing the people and ideas behind the brand, and this is a really great opportunity for us. And in addition, we were also able to get our brand in the heads of a lot of new people. So most of the people who got to know about Oatsum on TikTok haven't heard about us before on other social media platforms, and therefore it's a big opportunity for us to reach new customers.
So thank you so much for sharing that, Philip. And I think, you know, one of the key points that I took away from that was targeting a new audience and new users on TikTok, and really leveraging TikTok for brand awareness for your brand. So it's super to hear that you're really happy with it. So over to you, Tawa. What impact has TikTok had on Omalola Jewellery?
So I agree with Philip there about TikTok being different from other social media platforms in terms of being able to create authentic content. So that's been amazing, because the content we've created, because it's been so real, more authentic, and has been more about the brand and the vision behind the brand, we've had more engagement. TikTok is also amazing because we've been able to reach new people. So this led to direct growth within our brand. So we saw in December 335% growth. So this was December 2020 in comparison to December 2019. So the new audience on TikTok actually allowed us to grow as a brand. This meant that we could think about releasing new things from the revenue that was generated from that. So I'd say, TikTok has been amazing for our growth and also for spreading awareness of our brand to new people.
So thank you so much for sharing that, Tawa. And I think the numbers really, really speak for themselves. And it's great to hear that because of those numbers and the increase in revenue, what you've been able to do as a result, and what that's going to mean for future growth. So now, as we kind of come to the end of our event today, I would love to hear how both of you have been able to get ahead of the game. So Philip, how would you say that you have got ahead of the game?
Yeah. I would say in today we see a lot of fast changing trends and opportunities, and for us to stay ahead of the game means that you have to always try new things, to stay agile, to test new things, and if you see an opportunity, you do not shy away from taking this risk and trying it. And there will be some failures, but I think this is a big opportunity to learn new things and to understand your audience and your business in a better way. And therefore, for us, staying ahead of the game means stay agile and try new things.
Brilliant. And that really ties back to what you said, at the start of this, to not be afraid of failure and, to try those things that others might not be trying. So thank you so much for sharing. So over to you, Tao. How have you got ahead of the game?
I'd say for me, being ahead of the game means stay true to yourself, whilst also being open to change. That may sound contradictory, but in that I mean knowing who your target audience is, focusing on your target audience, but also being aware of trends and trends that are going on at the moment, and being able to use those trends to adapt to your vision. I'd say that's what being ahead of the game means to me.
So I'd like to thank you both again for joining us today with this event. So thank you for sharing your inspiring stories about your journeys as small business owners, including some of the challenges along the way, and by offering helpful advice for how other businesses can get ahead of the game. So as we close the final event in our Get Ahead series, I want to thank you all for joining us this week. If there have been any events that you have missed, don't worry, an email will be sent out with all of the recordings so you can watch these on demand. And lastly, if you haven't already, get involved in our hashtag challenge using the hashtag GetAhead. If you're a founder, entrepreneur, or CEO, celebrate how you get ahead in business by telling your story using one of our voiceovers. Your business could win a premium ad space courtesy of TikTok. I leave you with Tao's take on the challenge. Thanks again.
What we say in UK? Buy local, yeah? Yep, and we mean your manor, your area, your community. The local businesses around the corner from you. It's about that extra bit of time and effort they put in to make your product what it is for you. So come on, show the love, spread the word, and shop local.